Hello and welcome to Stretford. Paddock, today's podcast is brought to you by Surfshark VPN. Now more than ever, our internet reliance has been rapidly increasing. We stream our favourite shows, keep in touch with loved ones, and watch podcasts, not to mention, of course, the football. We'd like to think that information is safe, but as our online footprint increases, so does our need for proper internet security. Surfshark is a VPN service that protects your information by encrypting all the data that you send through the internet, keeping anyone unwanted from seeing it. Another great reason to use a VPN service is often when we're trying to stream something from another country, it can be restricted, so you can only view it from that country. However, using Surfshark VPN enables you to view content that is only usually able to watch from different countries, from abroad. So for example, if you've got a show or a game that you want to watch that is only being streamed in a certain country, using Surfshark VPN, that will allow you to watch that. So that can be channels and services such as Netflix, X or Twitter, Amazon Prime, all those different channels and services that you may only be able to watch in different countries. With Surfshark, you can simply solve that problem by changing your location. Also, if you do go abroad, you're on holiday, you're on the beach, and you still want to tune in to the Premier League or to any other services that you can't get while you're abroad, well, changing your location back to the UK and using your normal streaming service will enable that using Surfshark VPN. Currently, Surfshark has an amazing deal on. By using the link in the description and the promo code Paddock, which is pretty easy to remember, Paddock, you get an extra 4 months free. Surfshark also offers 30-day money-back guarantee. So use the link in the description and the code Paddock and you get 4 months free. And don't forget, you also get a 30-day money-back guarantee. You alright?
I'm alright here.
Yeah, I'm alright. Are you alright? This is Academy Review. It's not really, it's the Brew. Feels like old school Academy Review, doesn't it? Hey, before you left us, before you dumped us.
Well, I think it was a mutual agreement that,
Wasn't it a mutual agreement? It was you agreeing, yeah, that you didn't want to do Academy Review anymore. And me saying, okay then. It was like when, you remember when Nemanja Vidic left Manchester United by a mutual agreement? And it was like, basically the agreement was Vidic decided he was leaving and Moyes went, okay, I can't stop you. That was the kind of thing. Not that I've held it against you.
It's not that I didn't want to do it. It's just that I couldn't do it.
It's not that I didn't want to do it. It's just that I couldn't be bothered doing it anymore.
Anyway, you got a new guy, and you two seem buddies now. Well, forgot about me.
What have you been up to anyway, other than eating prawn sandwiches in the press box?
It wasn't prawn sandwiches. It was chicken thighs.
Oh, was it now?
Vegetarian rice, which
you know what I mean.
It's a bit work for me, but I had it.
I know, yeah.
And then some pasta. It was nice.
Some of us here scrapping with Rangers fans in the front lines, not me, obviously. And you're sat up there in the gods. What was it like then in the media bit last night? You've been doing the media quite a bit, haven't you?
I think it's 16 times I've been up there now, thanks to you.
How many? 16. Very good stuff. Yeah. The old mix zone as well. I don't like mix zones.
It's a bit awkward, isn't it? But
it's because you're all like in there, and it's like I remember. I've done a few mix zones just in general, but since we've been doing this, and it's always a bit awkward, like because you're waiting, and I've mainly done them on pre-season, waiting, and it'll be like, right, here's a player who has played like twice for Manchester United in their career.
Toby Collier, yes.
Yeah, well, not like that because Toby's a young player, up and coming player, whatever. But it's like a lot of the time it's players that might not necessarily sort of have a lot to say because they haven't played a lot.
Yeah.
Or you're told that you can't ask him certain things where you might want to ask him. So I'm always grateful. For the opportunity to talk to any Manchester United player, to get any Manchester United player on the channel. But sometimes as well, you'll get to the point where you'll be waiting, and you won't get anyone.
Yeah, that's happened before.
You won't
what was the first one I did? The first Europa League game of this season. And yeah, it was a nightmare. It was just like, I can't remember who came out now, but it was just like, they went straight to one person, asked a question, answered and gone.
The best one was on pre-season where Harry Amas, I think, went to stay. And then Tom Eaton did as well. He was just chatting to him, and then he was like, "Can I have a chat with you?" And then that ended up becoming the mix zone, like the interview. That wasn't meant to be. It was meant to be Will Fish apparently, but then Will Fish saw that happening and just got off. And then I had a little phone call with Manchester United saying, "Are you happy to hold on to that for a bit?" Because that's kind of an interview that the Sundays want to use. So I was like, right, okay, fair enough, because we played a game, even though others don't. No, but you're doing good stuff, man.
I'm trying, and it's thanks to you, really. You pushed it for me. You do
the hard work, and we're grateful for you doing that. You're going to be doing more of it, aren't you, as well?
Yeah, well, hopefully. There's been no Youth Cup games at Old Trafford this year, which has been a pain in the arse. I think it's. I wanted to ask Collier this yesterday. He was like, he's just come in and he's all of a sudden playing in big crowds, and he's not had that before. Whereas you look at Manu and Garnacho, when they came through, they'd played all in the Youth Cup at Old Trafford and been used to that crowd.
That as well,
so it's not always a big shock, but I just thought, is there any much difference really for him? But yeah, it's a shame they're not been at Old Trafford, because when we won the Youth Cup, that run was just brilliant, and yeah, especially the final, like more or less full Old Trafford. Yeah. But so if there's any of them, I'll be doing them. A couple of women's games. I think there's one next month, one in May, and then hopefully the Europa League if we get a home tie in the next phase, is it?
Yeah, next. I don't really get this still, the Europa League.
I think it just goes to straight knockouts after this weird bit.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. Home. Yeah. So we should have a home one.
Usually on the Brew, we don't usually talk about football. We'll talk about films. We'll talk about TV. A little bit about music. A little bit of nostalgia. So we'll ask you a little bit about that, but make sure you get involved in the chat in the comments, and we'll talk a little bit about Manchester United. Steve's not here; he's poorly sick, so Steve doesn't like to talk about Manchester United on the Brew. I'm kind of with him on it, because we spent all week talking about Manchester United, and Friday's like the wind down. It's the Brew. It's like, let's have a chill. Let's talk about other things as well as Manchester United as well. But I don't know. Are you into your films and your TV and all that?
I was, but I don't really watch as much as I did.
When it all went woke. I
mean,
went a bit too diverse. I don't like this anymore.
No, it was basically when COVID hit. I was like watching loads of stuff before that, and then.
So when COVID hit, when everyone was watching loads of stuff, you stopped watching.
I'll explain it to you, because I was living alone, and in a bit of a dead zone where my phone didn't work, couldn't get a signal.
Jesus Christ, Dave, this sounds very depressing.
It was, and then my Wi-Fi broke, and I couldn't watch stream.
I thought you were going to say that my wife left me.
No, I didn't.
Right. So you was just basically like on
some old DVDs.
You like what they used to call in prison, so I've been sold, basic.
I watched like films like Wages of Fear, which is like an old black and white.
So the thing with Wages of Fear, is that about the truck driver?
Yeah.
Yeah. They remade it as Sorcerer, I think.
No, I watched the original.
Yeah, I watched the original. Right, very good. That's
what lockdown was about.
Are you into your old school films?
I just like anything that's good.
Yeah? What about your war films?
Some of them are good, some of them are bad.
What's your favourite war film? Steve's not here, so I've got to ask you.
Favourite war film? Oh, that's difficult. That is difficult. Yeah, I'd go like, everyone says Saving Private Ryan, which is a good film, but I don't like the fact that it's a made-up story.
What do you mean it's a made-up? No, World War II happened.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure it did.
But there was no Private Ryan, and there was no Tom Hanks character going to find him. It's just a bit...
Yeah, that was... I read about this. You're right. There wasn't like there might have been a saving. Might have been a Private Ryan, but it wasn't.
Yeah.
Sorry, and also there wasn't quite the melodramatic thing of, George Marshall, the sort of leader of the Allies, having to get involved in it all and saying we're going to go on game. They had a policy, I think, of splitting up brothers and making sure that at least one of them didn't see combat when there was a big family. I think. So.
That's why like Band of Brothers is just.
Band of Brothers is the best TV show, I think, or one of the best TV shows ever.
It's my second favourite.
What's your first favourite?
Lost.
Really?
Yeah, I just...
See, when I was growing up, when I was in my 20s, whenever it was, and my brother and my dad used to be into Lost.
Yeah.
And I was never into it. And it's like The Traitors now. My missus has watched The Traitors, and I've missed it again. And I've missed my opportunity, because I've been told how good The Traitors is. And I was like, right, I've got to watch The Traitors. And then there was... Is that a nod of approval from Harvey? Yeah? Is it good? Harvey likes it. And then I didn't watch the first few episodes. My missus did. And then there was like, I couldn't be bothered catching up. And she keeps raving about it. Everyone on social media keeps raving about it. So I feel like I've missed my chance now.
Yeah, like we Lost, it was like, it come off as like a mystery show, like you didn't really know what was going on. But
yeah,
it was a sci-fi show really, without... sci-fi elements, if you know what I mean. If you watched it, you understand what I mean.
Yeah, I thought it was over. Did it? Was there a resolution to it all?
Yeah,
that's why I want to know. I don't want to watch something at the end. Go.
Yeah,
well, what happened
then? This is what's, because the last season changed something they did, and then by the end of it, people didn't understand the ending. But if you're clever.
This is your thing though, right? Because me and you've had this discussion about The Matrix, right?
Yeah.
Because I think The Matrix fell off.
Oh.
I think, right, hear me out, Dave, right? I do miss doing podcasts with you, right? The Matrix 1, yeah, The Matrix.
Great.
Is one of the best films ever.
It's a 9 out of 10.
It is unbelievable. And it was an event, right? That film, when it came out, changed cinema, right? It did. It changed everything about it. Because, for starters, it wasn't a massive budget, big blockbuster, this is going to be huge film. Keanu Reeves had quite a few failures, like Johnny Mnemonic and
But he was in
like,
Point Break, which is one of the great films.
he was a very good actor and well known, but he'd had a few flops, and it wasn't like he was the best or biggest star at the time. Lawrence Fishburne was, a good character actor. Again, he did had a few decent films, but it wasn't like he was huge.
Yeah, well, he's popular when he's younger.
Yeah, and then you had like Carrie-Anne Moss, who's quite new, and the Wachowski brothers themselves were relatively.
Can't say that anymore.
Sorry. At the time they were, but obviously they've transitioned now. So it was like a surprise that it was that big a hit, because it wasn't like everyone was going, before it came out, you're going to go and watch it. When it came out, everyone went to see it. It was unbelievable. You had all these effects that still stand up now, 25 years later. You don't look at them effects and go, they're a bit ropey. They look as good as anything you would see now. And they were like revolutionary at the time. You're not really seeing that kind of style. The film itself is just great. It makes sense. You're like, yes, I love it. I can't wait for the next one, because it felt very much like the Millennials Star Wars, or Generation X's Star Wars, or whatever. The next one comes out, which was Matrix Revolutions now. Reloaded. And it's all right.
Nah, it's meant. It's a 9 out of 10 as well.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe I'm being arsed.
The only criticism of it is they went a little bit too CG. And then like the Burley Brawl when he's fighting all the Smiths. Yeah. It's like there's a bit where it slows down and it's just like, that's just shit computer graphics.
And also as well, when he's fighting all the Smiths, he's going to beat them all.
You don't beat him, he just gets away.
Yeah, but that's like, there's no jeopardy here. Like is it the fight on the highway?
Yeah.
That's good.
All that sequence starts from him fighting in the chateau, and it carries on all the way to that. And
Monica Bellucci as well is very good.
Yeah, she's really good.
She's excellent acting. None of that.
I had the Matrix Reloaded poster of her on my wall when I was a kid.
Didn't we all? So that was all right. You loved it. I thought it wasn't quite as good as the first one.
Yeah.
I think it was nowhere near as good as the first one. And then the third one came out. And this is where I think it really fell off.
Yeah, I understand. I still enjoyed it, but it was more. I know that it did have action in it, but it was more like a philosophical film. And
I don't. You know what, Dave? You know me better than anyone. I'm a simple person with simple thoughts, if any. I don't want to go to the cinema and have to take a philosophy degree. Yeah. Or sort of work out what people are saying. And it was like the bit at the end where is it the architect? He's talking to him.
No, that's the end of Reloaded.
Right, and I didn't know what he was on about. It just got very confusing.
Yeah, to be fair, I did see it in the cinema like 9 times. I was in college at the time and I was off like on Tuesdays, and I met used to meet my mate and go to Matrix.
So I thought the Matrix 1 was amazing. 2, the thing with Matrix 1 as well is, or the Matrix was like the birth of DVDs.
Yeah,
you had to have that on DVD because you're a similar background for me. You didn't have a DVD player.
My first DVD player was on PS2.
Right, so you had VHS.
Yeah,
but this was like no, forget that. That's done. It's time for DVDs. This was the one where you had to have the DVD, and it was great.
Have you watched the new one? I don't even know what it's called. I've not seen it.
Is it Revolutions? No,
that was the third one, wasn't it?
Resurrections.
Yeah, I've not even seen that.
Well, let's have a look. Matrix Resurrections on Rotten Tomatoes, 63%.
That's not good, is it?
No, I'm always wary of that. Do you know what though? The trailer for that is elite.
I haven't seen the trailer.
The trailer, unbelievable. Dan says the highway scene. Santa Notch says, anyone watched American Primeval yet? Gary DeBola says, Bad Boys 2 use same highway setup for their car chase at the same time. That's great. Here's one for you. Heaven Soul says, that's why I wasn't a fan of Tenet. If you have to go into a movie and take notes, then it's not a good movie.
No, I like Tenet though. It was confusing, but at the end, by the end, you're figuring out what's going on, and then it's like, oh yeah, and then it takes you back to what you watched previous, and I enjoyed Tenet.
Christopher Nolan's very good. And he's like the new saviour of cinema almost, and everyone.
Yeah, well, I don't think he's of his main films. I don't think there's a bad one in there.
I wasn't. See, this is where I lose you.
Go on.
This is my sort of unpopular cinema opinion, Dave. I didn't like Dunkirk.
Going back to the war film, that might be the best war film.
Sure, Dave. You do realise there was more than 3 planes that fought in the Dunkirk.
I know, but
do you know what I mean?
Showed that was only an hour.
Like,
if he says with the planes, that's an hour, so he's not going to show every single plane.
No, but there was lots of planes in the air at the same time, and it wasn't just that as well.
Like
the time sort of flitting back and forth didn't make any sense. Harry Styles was okay, but it wasn't the performance that everyone said it was. And also, they're all just sat around for ages.
That's what happened.
I know, but I don't need to make that into the film. And also, the Mark Rylance thing with the guy on the boat that bangs his head was just pointless. He's sorry.
He's a joker now.
Mark Rylance?
No, the guy who banged his head.
Oh, is it?
He's that Irish lad who's...
Cillian Murphy?
No.
Sorry? Barry Keoghan? Oh, yeah. Oh, is he the Joker? Yeah. He's in the Adidas United, isn't he?
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
Have you seen Saltburn yet? I've not seen that. No, it's not. Have you seen that, Harvey? Yeah. Why? You look a bit disturbed. Is it very disturbing?
I'm quite uncomfortable speaking to my boss about it.
Harvey says, I'm quite uncomfortable speaking to my boss about it. Okay, I feel the same way talking to you about pay reviews. So... Glad we've found some common ground. Dan says, New Matrix is just a cash grab made by the studio. All right, what's the most disappointing sequel you've ever watched? What's a sequel you've gone, come on, bring it on, I can't wait for this to come out, and you've gone now to the cinema, because if you've really anticipated, you've probably gone to the cinema to watch it, and you've gone, nah, man,
that's a tough question.
Thank you.
That really is a tough question.
You should have trained journalist.
Should have, prep me before so I could have...
We never prep on the Brew.
Think about it. Yeah, no, but I can't come up with an answer now because I can't.
Daniel Coe says Gladiator 2. We went to see that. Weren't great. Dan says Joker 2 was terrible.
I've still not seen that.
Heaven Soul says the new Star Wars trilogy has really suffered after all that hype. I think Star Wars has been on a downward trajectory since Return of the Jedi.
Nah, you're wrong.
Mate.
The prequels are good.
What? Who shouted I agree? Ben, producer Ben shouts.
Good, and that's why all the good TV shows are based around that era.
I'll give you The Force Awakens.
They're the sequels.
Oh, the sequel. What's your Phantom Menace?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, shut up, man.
Oh, Attack of the Clones.
Oh, my
Revenge
God.
of the Sith.
No.
They're the best ones.
I stand with Dave. Christ, the queue for the job centre next week is going to be amazing. I'm sorry. Do you know what, funnily enough? I went to the cinema to watch The Phantom Menace, I think, about 3 times, right? Because one...
It's so good.
No. First of all, when it came out, I was like, me mates were like, giddy. We had a perfectly legal copy on DVD that we got. I think it was on video, actually. And then we went to the cinema to watch it. And I was like, right, okay, it's... Yeah, all right. Star Wars, innit? Yeah, get in. And I took my brother and his mates, because they were only a lot younger than me. They were like 10 at the time. And they ended up going again, I think, for some reason, with someone else. It was okay. I don't think it was as good as the original.
Well, I saw it in Canada. I think it just turned 13.
See, at that age, I think you probably appreciate it more, because you're still quite young, aren't you, kid? I was 18, I think, so I was a bit older. And I don't know, I was expecting a little bit more. And I also think, you talk about CGI, a lot of it you could tell it was CGI.
Yeah.
You could tell, like with Star Wars, what I love about Star Wars, I think the lack of technology helps it.
Yeah, if you look at the original trilogy, like all the practical effects are I think films are way better with practical.
I agree.
And I think that's why Nolan, people resonate with his films, because there's a lot of practical stuff in his.
Yeah, I think sometimes you can go too CGI heavy.
Like the Prestige have you seen the Prestige?
Yeah, of course.
Well, when
David Bowie, Christopher Nolan film.
Yeah, when they crushes the cage and the bird disappears, and it turns out he just killed the bird. Actually did it.
I'll tell you what, the RSPB, whatever they're called. RSPB, is it?
Royal Society of Protecting the Birds.
Yeah, they'd have been fuming. Steve M says, Phantom Menace is okay, Revenge of the Sith is a masterpiece. Gary DeBola says Godfather 3.
Godfather 2. I think Godfather 1, they're all terrible, I think.
What?
Yeah, I think they're just.
Are you actually saying these words? The Godfather 1 and 2 are terrible.
You know what it is? It's the same people who get an expensive bottle of wine and go, oh, I can smell that, oh, just feel the taste of it. You just can't get that anywhere else. It's the same people who watch Godfather, and it's an alright film, but people just love to say how great it is.
I think you might be on something, because if you go on Rotten Tomatoes, The Godfather, 97%. Do you know what I mean?
The kind of people who leave the DVD on their in the coffee table just so people can see they've watched it.
And The Godfather 2 fell off, 96%. Right, so that, I mean,
three's pretty bad with like all the incest stuff.
I mean, to be fair, 3 is 66%, which for The Godfather is shocking.
No, I don't think they're as good as everyone makes out. They're all right. Yeah, they're all right.
The Matrix sequel is amazing. It's a 9 out of 10. The Godfather 2 is all right.
It's all right.
Yeah, I mean, you're nothing if not original, my friend. No, I like Godfather 1 and 2. I think they're really good films. I think they're rightly
what I mean
iconic.
About them? Like, people love to tell you how good they are. And
is that not because they're good?
No, but people like to think the directors and like, oh, the way they did the lighting in this, and that's just like, piss off.
I get some people do get carried away with that, but I think that The Godfather is, people forget, this is 50 years ago.
I know. Like I say, it's a good film, but it's not, I don't think it's up there as the great film.
Paved the way for a lot, and it was so original because you're making a gangster film. That's what you meant to be making, and he didn't. He went and made an epic that people really didn't quite see coming. Because, like, and I know quite a lot about the Godfather, the making of it, because I've read up quite a bit on it. Like, Francis Ford Coppola had a few films that hadn't really done what they expected to do. Finian's Rainbow and Dementia 13 and The Rain People. So he was a bit like, but they gave him the gig basically because of his Italian heritage. And they said, like, let's get someone who understands the culture, who can sort of tap into that. And he made it more about the family. And he made it more about that, and that came from that angle. And that obviously worked really well, the sort of the relationship between Michael and his dad and Fredo and everything and Sonny. And I just think that when you watch that film, if you had to sit down and watch something, it is just an amazing bit of cinema.
I've watched it a few times, and it's not a film where I've gone, like, I joke and say it's shit because just to wind people up. But I don't think it's as good as everyone makes it.
You remind me of Steve McCall when they say things like, the Beatles are shit. Name me a decent. Macca and Steve say things like, name me a decent Beatles song. You can't. Like, shut up. Like, name me one good song the Beatles have ever done.
Everyone they've ever written.
Yeah. Like, just behave. But they were doing it tongue in cheek a bit.
Francis Ford Coppola, by the way, talking to Steve, you know his nephew.
Nicolas Cage. Yeah. I told Steve that the other week. He wasn't impressed. Farella says, if you want good Star Wars, get into the animated series. Clone Wars, Rebels, Bad Batch, Unreal.
Too many of them. So I looked at the Clone Wars, and it's like so many seasons, and it's just like take you about a year to watch it all.
Daniel Coe says, favourite true story movie? Braveheart's alright. What do you mean now? You don't like it because the English get beat?
They don't get beat.
Let's look at him.
They don't get beat at all.
They lose a few battles, mate.
They cut his stuff
right.
off.
Do you know what I mean?
That's too many tough questions here.
Favourite true story movie? There's films based on a true story that I quite like. There's a few films that I like, like The Untouchables.
You know the rule, like,
not real, not quite accurate.
With films where it says based on a true story, that can be. It doesn't have to be. You can put that, and you can do whatever you want.
Really?
Yeah. So like films that say based on a true story, it can be a lie, and you can't.
Because it's not like you can't prove that.
No, you can prove it's a lie.
Right.
But yeah, you can just do that. Like, because Fargo, do you ever hear the story of Fargo? Because that says based on a true story.
So, yeah, but it says it in a funny way.
No, but it says it at the start, and then obviously the money's buried, and some woman, I think from Japan, watched the film, thought it was a true story, tried to track this money down, and ended up freezing to death.
What?
Yeah. There was a documentary on it.
Right. So the film says, this is a true story, right? The events depicted in this film took place in Minnesota in 1987. At the request of the survivors, the names have been changed. Out of respect for the dead, the rest has been told exactly as it occurred. Right, so some woman saw that, went to Minnesota, which last time I checked is quite a big area.
Yeah.
It's a state, isn't it, Minnesota?
Yeah.
Thank you, producer Harvey. And went looking for a road with some money in it.
Yeah.
By the side of it. That's genuinely insane.
What's the true story?
Is that the story you've just told me? Is that
there's
true?
a documentary, I watched it years ago. It was about, I'm sure she was Japanese.
Right, okay. I mean, that's unbelievable, that. I mean, I can't believe... I mean, if that happened, then that's beyond... I mean, if she passed away, you know, God rest her, I don't want to insult the dead, but bloody hell. Meshugaho7 says, I'm trying to wind down for the week, and I'm getting absolutely rattled by these movie opinions. Gary DeBola says JFK. JFK...
Yeah, that's yeah.
But
it's not true, is it?
hugely false.
Yeah, because it was Secret Service did it by mistake.
Is that your theory?
Yeah, there's a book I read a while ago where they all out the piss the night before Secret Service, because you would do your Secret Service.
I've seen the documentary on this.
And someone shooting, probably Harvey Oswald, and they grabbed the gun from the footwell and they fake off.
Well, Trump's going to release
he signed it, isn't he?
Release all the archive.
Do you see him sign it and said, "Give that pen to RFK Jr."
Them big markers he's got.
Yeah.
I love it when he's signing.
showman.
I love he's signing these things and going, "What's this one?" Oh, like he don't know. There's one where he went, "Oh, sounds good." So it's this executive. Oh, what is it? All right, oh, good stuff. I mean, I don't want to get all political, you know me, but it's going to be an interesting 4
It
years.
needs a bit, when he's filming though, we need better lighting, I think,
What? Trump?
It should be like, just lights above, so it's like dark and
Like he's the Emperor in Star Wars, like...
No, but doing these orders, it's just like...
Yeah, I mean, he's getting through them orders, isn't he?
Yeah,
like, he went to an event as well, where he's on the stage and he was signing them. And he's got his big marker, and here you go, here's another one, and he's throwing markers in the crowd. Right, yeah, I'll have one for you, here we go. Yeah, I love it as well when he was asked about how much money he made from that crypto. And he was like, no, I've not checked. I've not looked. I have no idea. Right, okay. Yeah, it's going to be very exciting, shall we say, for the next 4 years. Eddie the Eagle says, Adrian Owen. Daniel Coe says, JFK release files coming soon to a cinema near you. Dan says, what's your favourite movie trilogy and why is it Lord of the Rings? Are you a Lord of the Rings fan? Yeah?
Yeah. Is that true? Is that the best one? It could be.
Trilogies have sort of fell off a bit, haven't they?
Yeah.
Because a lot of trilogies now become franchises. Like, I think if Die Hard had stopped after Die Hard with a Vengeance, that would have been a mint trilogy.
Die Hard with a Vengeance wasn't really a Die Hard film. It was, I think it was a script called Simon Says, and then they tried to sell it to the studio, this guy.
Oh, they made it into...
And then they went, oh, we can't do anything with this, but if we had John McClane and turned it into Die Hard...
Hans Gruber's brother.
Yeah.
All right, okay. But that as a trilogy would have been an amazing trilogy, but then came Die Hard 4.0, which I thought was rubbish.
Once I watched that, I never watched another
when
one
he's
again.
hanging off the plane's wing, and then the plane crashes and he just slides down it, and and he's fine. Yeah. Like, that was just...
He didn't have any cut feet like in the first one, and he's struggling. He's just like a superhero in that one. It was just like ridiculous.
Flashburn52 says, Lord of the Rings is 3 films about walking.
That's not true. There's horses.
Right, there's horses and that. Do you know what? I've seen...
Yeah.
Joe always goes mad at me about this, because I've seen The Fellowship of the Ring, but I haven't seen the others.
You haven't seen Two Towers?
No.
With Rohan?
No, I haven't seen any of that.
Helm's Deep? Oh,
yeah.
The second one's my favourite.
Joe loves The Lord of the Rings, I think.
I'm thinking they're getting a Rohan tattoo.
Rohan?
Yeah.
Right, okay. What is Rohan?
It's an area in Middle Earth.
An area?
Yeah, the Horse Lords.
West?
No. Yeah, basically, yeah.
Right, okay.
Well, just good humans.
Yeah. I mean, he did really well, Peter Jackson, because there was nothing on his CV that made you think he could direct these epic films, and he smashed it.
Did he do a film called Lovely Bones? I've never seen it, but it was quite popular. And they did King Kong. I actually liked his King Kong. I thought that was all right.
King Kong was after Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
But like going into Lord of the Rings, you looked at what he'd done. He'd done these low budget sort of splatter films in New Zealand. He did The Frighteners, which flopped. He did. Was it Lovely Bones as well?
I think that did all right.
Yeah, I think he did do Heavenly Creatures as well.
Yeah,
he did. So he's obviously a director with talent, but you're looking at something that's so epic in scale. You think, what makes you think this New Zealand bloke?
What he did, he was clever as well, because all like the production, like all the visual effects, he started the company and got like students in.
Yeah.
All the the wetter, he made all the props and stuff. He co-created, so he made a pretty penny off it. And he did The Hobbits, and he's doing another one soon. So he's made a career out of it.
Samwise 877 says, "Lovely Bones is a class movie." Is that the girl? The
I've not seen it. I've not seen him.
I think Christopher Moltisanti's in it. If it's the one I'm thinking of. Acorn Electron says, "Shawshank Redemption was the best trilogy. I watched it 3 times and every time it was awesome."
It's the best film ever made.
Yeah. What?
Best film ever made.
Shawshank Redemption.
Yeah.
Do you think so?
Yeah, by far.
I love that. By far.
3, and he's only seen it 3 times. Like
I know. That's just
4.
yeah. Samwise 877 says, "Nah, Goodfellas is the GOAT."
That's better than Godfather. It was a gangster film.
Yeah. Goodfellas is an amazing film. And because I love The Sopranos, I love the fact that almost all the cast of Sopranos are in Goodfellas. But I don't know. It's up there. Antel says Gladiator is right up there for me too. You like Gladiator, don't you? Yeah. Sopranos is unreal, says Samwise as well. Yes, I agree. I think Sopranos is unreal. Should we talk about Manchester United Football Club?
Yeah, go on then.
Is that your enthusiasm as well as mine?
Yeah.
It's like that little segue there, that faultless segue straight into United. I mean, we've had Mark Critch on the channel today. Me and him were chatting. Mark from The Athletic. That's going to be out later on today in Off the Bar. And I like Mark. Top chat with him, good guy. But it did get a bit depressing at times when you look at where United are at. The players we've got to try and get rid of. The lack of funds we've got, the sort of divide between Ineos, the board, the fans, a manager who, you know, we all rate and we all support and back, but who's already feeling it, you can tell. I mean, it's just not a happy camp, is it?
And we're only 10 points off relegation.
And we're only 10 points off relegation. I mean, I'm amazed how bad things are, really, to be honest with you. I'll be honest with you, and this isn't a criticism of Ruben Amorim, so don't, take it the wrong way. People go, look at Jay Turner, and I'm not. I think he's the right guy for the job, and I think you've got to back him and give him time. But I remember when he came in, and there was because there was so much of the season left, I actually thought, United can still get top 4 here. I did.
I didn't think so at all. I mean, Ten Hag should have gone much earlier, in my opinion. I think we talked about this in the past. Yeah. He brought so many of the wrong players in for so much money, and he just made that squad unplayable for a team that wants to try and do things. He comes in hammering. What's he got to change? He's still dealing. The only thing he's been able to do, which is the right thing, is what Ten Hag should have done, is play Ahmad instead of Antony. That's all he can do. He's not been able to bring in any of his own players. Like transfer windows, when they close next week, and we've
third.
Looking like we're going to sign anyone. Yeah. And even if we do get anyone, it's no one for the first team who's going to help us win. It's great. I mean, what else can he do? And then he criticises the team, and people are having a go at him. But I mean, what else can he say? Oh yeah, we're doing great. This is probably one of the best United.
I was gutted he went back on it. I was gutted he said it was a mistake. I understand why he did, but I wouldn't have managed it. He just gone, you know what? I said what I said. Deal with it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I wouldn't have minded that as a fan. I mean, you may disagree and others may disagree. Get involved in the chat in the comments and let me know what you think. But I think, you know what? The guy's had enough.
What can he do? Literally, we've got Fulham on Sunday. What can he do? He's still got to put the same players out. We're terrible. We can't seem to play the ball around. And everyone's going on about he's changed the formation. Well, it's because when he brings the players in that he wants the players that are going to stick around to know the formation he's going to be playing in.
Yeah.
If he keeps it how it was and then brings the players in and then changes the formation, everyone don't know what they're doing.
No, listen, I want him to stick with his guns. I want him to try and get these players sort of realising this is the system. If you play for this team under me, you play in this system. Get used to it. It's not going to change. I'm not just going to go, okay, we'll give up with it. I like that, and I think that this sort of short-term suffering for long-term gain is the right idea. My issue, or the thing that's been slightly deflating, is the level of short-term suffering, and also the fact that these players, some of them, not all of them, seem to be able to turn up in certain games and not in others. And there's no excuses for me in some of the performances we've seen.
Yeah, and not just performance. I think attitudes of certain players. I mean, what can he do about that? He's more or less banished certain players.
Well, it's certain players. Let's be honest. Who we're talking about here. I think we've got them on the thumbnail.
Marcus Rashford.
Yeah.
I mean, you've watched Marcus Rashford since he was in the academy.
Yeah.
I think there's few people on this planet who've watched Marcus Rashford as much as you have. How do you feel about all this? Because
I'm pissed off. I mean, I don't understand it. He's literally from 10 minutes walk from where I live, you know, where he's originally from. And you think anyone around that area, their dream is to even just one appearance for United. And he's lived the dream. He's played for England. He's won European trophies with United. You know, he's a centre forward for United. Who wouldn't want that? And he's just doesn't seem to give a shit. Maybe he does, but from the outside, it looks like he doesn't care. And talking about before about being in like the mix zone, all the players walk down. Even if they don't want to talk, they all say hello and stuff to everyone. You know, and him just moves the barrier out of the way, head down, hood up, goes. Doesn't like wave to any of the fans or anything. And he looks like he just can't be arsed being there. And then you see him in like at the basketball in America. He's got a big smile on his face, and that's the thing that really kind of annoys me. He's literally living the dream, and he doesn't look like he wants to do it.
I hear you, I do, and it saddens me that it's come to this. But I think Marcus needs to move on.
Yeah,
you can't have a player as well that's on 300 odd grand a week, whatever he's on. Yeah, not even making the bench. It is ridiculous. My worry is we've got 10 days left of the transfer window to get rid of him.
But who's going to pay his wages?
I don't know. It doesn't look like Milan are going to have him anymore because I think they've got Kyle Walker in. I think the way that it's structured there, they can't afford to basically bring both of those players in, and they've gone with Kyle Walker. You look at Dortmund, I think they've just sacked the manager, haven't they? So that's off the table. You look at Barcelona, maybe they pull another lever and that happens, but it's not looking likely. No club in the Premier League is really showing much of an interest, and I don't think United are keen to sell into a Premier League or loan into a Premier League club.
I think the loan's the only option, though. I mean, the ideal thing would be goes out on loan, finds himself again, does well, and comes back. Because obviously, I want him to do well. Well, maybe I've got it all wrong, and obviously there's something going on. But just from the outsider point of view, looking in, it does look like he's given up.
Yeah, it does. Another player that's looks like he's going to be going any day now is Antony.
Yeah. I
mean, your reaction there summed it up. You know, I've got to the point where I don't like to talk about Antony because every time I talk about Antony, I'm critical of him because I don't rate him. And then people go, "You've got an agenda, Jay. You just always go on about Antony." I don't always go on about him, but when it becomes a topic, I have to be honest. I just genuinely think he's one of the worst signings we've ever made. That's my genuine opinion.
The issue is Ten Hag's brought him in. He's paid stupid money for him, which that's not Antony's fault. He's put him in there when we've got this other, like Ahmad, this other winger who's doing better than him, puts him in there and plays him every week, and he's struggled and he's not been good enough really. And because of the price tag, everyone's just had a go at him. It's just all it is he's not good enough. Yeah. I don't think he doesn't try. He gives, he does, but it's just not United.
I agree. I think you make a good point there. I think if you look at his effort and his energy, I don't think he tries. I don't think he wants the ball. I don't think he wants to try and make things happen.
Yeah, it's like when he misses and stuff, and people go, "Oh, he's trying to score the goal, but it's just not good enough."
No, I agree with that. I completely agree with that. And I think that the frustrating thing with the Antony signing was that we saw this. I think there was an article in the Athletic. We spoke to Laurie Whitwell about it, who did a deep dive on it. United assessed Antony. United decided he was worth 35 million quid. Excuse me, and then a month later paid 80 million for him. It's insane. Yeah. Now, yes, the manager has to take some responsibility because he must have sanctioned that signing, especially for a player that he already knew. But you had a situation as well where the manager had lost his first 2 games. He's under intense pressure. Going into that Liverpool game, probably could lose his job if I know it sounds melodramatic after 3 games, but if you lose that at home to Liverpool, people are going to actually made a mistake getting this guy in. The club is saying, look, we can bring in Antony, we can bring in Casemiro. It's going to cost a lot of money. He's probably not bothered. Yeah. He's probably not bothered to the point of going, don't get him because it's not worth it. He probably goes, get him. I need these players.
Yeah, but to be fair to Antony, that's not his fault.
No, it's not. It's not. I don't blame Antony for his price tag. And when I say he's one of our worst signings, it's because part of that is because of the price tag, which isn't his fault. And he costs 12 million. He wouldn't remotely be one of our worst signings because he has played
even
a part.
The 35 million, you wouldn't.
No, it's the fact that he is our 5th most expensive signing or whatever. And he's been here for 2.5 years, and for a good 1.5 of those years has been poor. So it's not his fault. It's just an indication of the mismanagement that has gone on at Manchester United.
Even with the Casemiro thing, that's what I kind of liked about Ollie. And when I've gone on Twitter and people have basically said I'm a dickhead for saying Ollie probably
says that about you?
One of the greatest. I think he's one of the best managers since Fergie. It's
Can we just say though, right? For starters, when you say he's one of the best managers post Fergie, and people lose their mind about this, that's not the most controversial opinion.
I know,
one of the best managers we've had post Fergie. He finished third and second in his only full seasons at the club. It's not that
would have won a European
ridiculous.
trophy if a goalkeeper could save a penalty.
Okay, it's not that ridiculous to say he's one of the best we've had post Fergie.
Well, it wasn't even that. It was the type of football we played, and he tried to get rid of all the older players. We've got these older players who are on stupid money because that's the only way we could get them, and he tried to get rid of that. And then with Casemiro, Casemiro's done all right, but there's a reason why Real Madrid sold him, because he was done.
Yeah.
And if we're trying to get up the ladder again, he's not the player to do it with.
The issue you've got, right? Antony looks like he's going to go Real Betis. Did Romano go early with this? Here we go. What? Didn't I?
Seen it.
I saw a here we go about 3 days ago.
I think they've just been waiting.
And then,
Before things up.
yeah, Harvey's just explaining it to me. Sorry, he does our socials. Because I saw the here we go, and usually when you see a here we go, that means he's gone. And I saw that, and then I'm sure I saw him warming up last night.
Well,
and I was like, hang on a minute, doesn't he play for Real Betis now?
In the mix zone, he came out. He had a shirt.
What, a Real Betis one?
No.
Like, where am I? What's going on?
He came round, and he always does it. He has usually one of them clear United bags from the mega store, and you can see his shirt in it. And if he's got that, he usually gives it to one of the fans outside. But he was there.
I felt right. My mate said to me the other night against Southampton, when Antony came on, he said, "Listen, I don't care what anyone says. There's a player there." Right, that's what he said. He said, "Look, trust me, Jay. I know it sounds ridiculous. I know everyone hates him. There's a player there." And almost as soon as he went like that, Antony missed that sitter at the back post, and he went, "I'm not gonna lie, I might be wrong."
Like, for me,
but I think there's a player there.
If he goes, which he's got to go, really. I hope he does well. I don't wish any harm on him. I don't
wish any harm on the player that he's playing Manchester. Listen, he's become a sort of. I think certain players become synonymous with the failings at Manchester United.
He's the face of the failings.
Fellaini became synonymous with the failings of David Moyes because we overpaid for him in terms of his buyout clause and just the ludicrousness of that, buying a player that you've managed for more than you could have got him for. Who else is there? Maybe
Pogba for Mourinho, was it?
Maybe Lukaku for Mourinho. I feel was a bit more like Lukaku.
Yeah, to me that was one of the most disappointing. Because I wanted him for so long.
Yeah,
and he was fucking good.
I argued with Steve about this because I'm Steve.
He was great.
I wasn't a huge fan.
I loved him, and then when he came to United,
before we got him, Steve was
I thought at Everton he was great.
Yeah,
and then he just was terrible for us.
But I think Antony has become synonymous with the failings of Ten Hag. Like everything you look at Ten Hag and you don't like the results we had that were just awful. Finishing 8th, just getting battered in certain games. He becomes the sort of the epitome of that because it's like, well, this is the guy that spent 80 million on Antony.
I think the issue, and this is probably down to him as well, why people feel that way more is when he first come and he was making mistakes like that twirl he did. Like people tried to defend it, but at the end of the day, what the fuck are you doing? And then he puts the ball out for a goal kick.
I'll be honest with you.
I
took my lad to that game. My lad liked it, and I wasn't bothered.
Yeah, but
I have things right. Dave, like there's certain things that frustrate me and annoy me, like, and it infuriates me. There's a lot of things that bother people, and I get it. I'm quite weird like that. That just for some reason it doesn't rattle me. Like the whole Luke Shaw, your mum's on benefits thing. I didn't care. TikTok, whatever. It's my daughters do TikTok. It's not for me. I mean, I do TikTok now and again, but I'm not that bothered if a footballer does a TikTok. Do you know what I mean? Like the Antony spinny thing. Who gives a shit?
No, for me it was
that was my attitude.
He was trying to show off and he made a mistake.
That's what Santa Not says. It's the putting the ball out for a goal kick.
Yeah, that's what it was.
James says Rasmus is shocking.
No, I feel for Rasmus. Rasmus is the player you bring in when you've got an established striker or two of them.
Oh, is this confirmed?
He confirmed his here we go today.
Right. This is right. Can we just be honest, right? Can we get that on the screen, Harvey? All right to do that. I like Romano, right? We've had him on the channel. We had him on the channel early doors when it was a bit of a coup for us to get him on. And I remember congratulating him when he just got to 1 million followers on Twitter, as it was called then. He's now on, I think, 23 million or something. So it shows you the growth he's had. However, I do feel a bit like he's almost in this thing now where he has to tweet something all the time about certain transfers and deals and whatnot. And it kind of feels at times where he almost doesn't want to, but he's got to. So he'll give you an update, and he'll give you an update that's not really an update. And then he's going out earlier and earlier with these here we goes. And now we're getting a here we go, and then we're getting a here we go confirmed.
Yeah, because
surely the here we go is the here we go.
The original
confirmed.
here we goes was here we go, and then within 5 minutes, Sky Sports News have said.
Yeah, and I think we had the here we go for Antony to Real Betis like 3 days ago, whatever it was. So what is this? The one from today? Yeah. You can see that on your screen. Here we go confirmed. Right, but the here we go should have been the here we go confirmed. So now when he says here we go, are we going to wait for the here we go confirmed? Do you understand what I'm saying?
I understand.
Yeah, because here we go, that used to be the thing. That was like, right, and now it's like, we get a here we go, and then we get a here we go confirmed.
Is the here we go patting himself on the back?
Yeah, like, and then he's quoting the here we go confirmed. This is giving you details. Antony will fly to Spain today for Real Betis loan move, as reported earlier. Jesus wept. Fair play to Betis. We'll cover 80% of his wages plus bonuses. But he's not on ridiculous money, is he? Antony. Like, he's on a lot of money. He's on a lot more than he should be on. But he's not on like the 300 odd K, I think, of some of his teammates. Not that makes it all okay. It's been a pretty bad. The wages we pay out are pretty bad. So that's one out. Antony's going. Unless we get a here we go confirmed.
But it could be just for 4 months though.
Yeah, that's a good point. Casemiro, what's happening with him?
He's the past, isn't he? That's the problem. It's if we want to build something, you don't build it around a player who's at the end of his career. No. And we've done it with two players. I mean, with Eriksen as well.
Yeah. I mean, the only criticism, the real criticism, or the only real criticism I'd have of Ruben Amorim was that Newcastle game. That was an insane lineup. Now I know Ruben Amorim's giving players a chance and he's finding his feet, so don't getting carried away and saying, "Oh, I'm turning against Amorim." He's the right guy for the job. But you can think he's the right guy for the job and still think he got something wrong once, and he got it wrong. He should have looked at the Ipswich game and gone, right, them two can't start in midfield together ever again. And instead he went, I'll tell you what, we'll stick them in against the likes of Bruno Guimaraes and Joe Linton, and we'll put Joshua Zirkzee in front of him. That'll work. And you're like, oh my God, this is a disaster. So,
Jay, I've got another Fabrizio Romano.
I would love producer Harvey. Says he's got another Fabrizio Romano.
This is deal on.
Oh, deal on. Right, so Romano is expanding his vocabulary now, and he's expanding what he does. And it's not just here we go, it's deal on. So when was this from? Oh, sorry, my eyesight. This is today. Oh, right, sorry, I've just found it. So this is for Patrick Dorgu. See, I'd be annoyed if I was a transfer guru, because he's nicking all the sayings, isn't he? He's already got here we go. Now he's got deal on.
Has he copyrighted that? It's been to
Here
the
we go.
office.
Can you copyright that? Can you? Like, I don't know.
You must be able to.
Donald Trump decided to copyright your fired in once, and that didn't work. Deal on. Is that kid still knocking about? You should know, what is it? Here we land. There we land. Is he still knocking about?
I've not seen him this match, though, isn't
I know, he's not been about, has he? But, fair play to the kid who's like 12 in his bedroom. Next thing you know, he's on Sky Sports News. Yes, a deal on is the latest one. This is for Patrick Dorgu. We'll see. I don't. What's that mean? Do you know what I mean? And also, right, this is what I mean about Romano.
He's going to put you in his little book, innit?
I'm not bothered. 9 hours ago, he tweeted about Patrick Dorgu. Then he quotes it with some eyes and emojis. Then he does another one about deal on. It's very similar, innit? And again, it's what he's got to do, and he has to give you
He's got
updates.
the blue tick, and he's trying to get engagement.
Trying to get all that Elon money.
Yeah.
Elon money. And else is what is a hot spot? Not a good spot. I think we've covered everything there, Dave. What do you reckon?
Still don't know what my favourite worst sequel is, though.
Your worst sequel?
Yeah. Can't think. I'll come back to you with that.
I think it's Weekend at Bernie's too. Anyway, thank you to everyone who got involved in the chat and the comments. A couple of people have asked, is Steve okay? Is he getting better? Is he fat? He's all right. He's ill. But I don't think there's any...
I think everyone's been ill at some point this month.
I was pretty
had
bad. A severe case of man flu. Like, proper bad case. But... dragging myself in work. Got to make content for people.
My other job, first time it's ever happened, got sent home from work.
What is it you said to me once? You said ringing in sick is woke.
Of course it is, yeah.
Being ill is woke, that was it. You got sent home. So you went in. There was no danger of you ringing in sick. You went in and they went, you can go home.
At midnight.
Well, they sent you home at midnight?
Yeah.
That's not sending you home. What time's your shift finish?
4.
Oh, right, okay, that is then. I thought you said, like, we're going to say 1.
We close at 3 and then...
Yeah? Oh, mate, I don't miss that. I used to hate that, doing, like, bar work and stuff when you're groggy. It's nothing
it was horrendous. And I was on dry Jan, so I couldn't even have, like, whiskey to help out.
Oh, mate, terrible. You doing dry Jan? Good lad.
It's easy. I don't know what everyone's moaning about.
Yeah, you've only got a week to go. Doing well. Listen, where can people find you, Dave?
In the press box.
In the press box? Yeah.
No, it's upstairs or down there sometimes.
I don't mean physically. I mean on socials.
Just
upstairs or down here. Yeah, if you want to find Dave, just come to the office. You can find him down here or upstairs. Don't worry about it. We'll let you in. Yeah, go and check out Dave on your socials. We're always tagging him in stuff on Stretford Paddock. Have Paddock got a game this weekend?
Yes, we've got Newton. Is it Newton Athletic, I think, tomorrow? Yeah, we're playing away in Chester. 1 o'clock kickoff.
Okay.
I've got a feeling, though, they might ring and say called off because of this wind. People don't like wind anymore.
They don't like wind?
No.
The Jurgen Klopp?
No. People used to fly kites. Look, when's the last time you saw a kite?
Yeah, maybe that's something to do with like the invention of televisions and the computer.
No, it's because people don't like wind anymore.
Say to my son, do you want to play your PlayStation? Do you go out and fly a kite? I don't know what he's going to say to me.
You never know, you might just try it.
This country's in the dogs. No one flies kites anymore. Dave, always a pleasure, bro. It's been good chatting to you, man. I do miss our chats. Go and check out Stretford Paddock FC and Dave Pritt as well. You know where to find me. Big thank you to Surfshark sponsoring this podcast. That's been Dave. I'm Jay. This has been The Brew. Get well soon, Steve. Thanks for watching.